Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again, another reaction for you guys. Today guys, of course, we're here checking out the newest episode of The Flash Season 8. This is The Flash Season 8, episode 14, titled Funeral for a Friend. We know who the friend is, and we know who died last week. So if you're watching this video, watching this intro here, then you know what happened last week, or at least you don't care about spoilers. It was Frost. Frost died. I had predicted that, but, you know, I didn't want to say anything just in case. I'm like, it could be somebody else. I would have been surprised if it was somebody else, but my prediction was Frost because they had set up the week before that she was going to be one taking on Deathstorm. But my theory, I was kind of wrong on this. My theory was that Deathstorm was going to kill Frost, who became Hellfrost. She leveled up, essentially. Oh god, that line, but yeah. So she became Hellfrost, and my prediction was that, you know, Deathstorm was going to live and the arc was going to continue, but she would die in the process. I was wrong. She actually ended up killing Deathstorm, but then sacrificed herself. Didn't realize that was going to happen. I don't think she knew that was going to happen, but it ended up happening. And yeah, they had a huge long scene. It was considered an after-credit scene because the logo popped up, and everybody found out, including Chillblaine, who's a character I don't care about on the show at all. But he actually was not terrible in the last week's episode. But now he lost his girlfriend, who he really cared for. And so now we have Funeral for a Friend. And, you know, it's unfortunate we lost her. Daniel Panabaker, of course, is still on the show as Caitlyn, so we didn't lose the actor. But the fact is that this was a long time coming. She talked about this openly in a lot of places and was saying how it had been discussed for quite a while, and she didn't want it to be a fake out. So this is truly the end of Frost, okay? Frost is not going to be coming back like our Frost in a sense. There might be a multiverse situation, but I doubt that. It sounds like to me the decision was this is permanent and this is not going to be a fake out. So we'll see how they handle the episode. My assumption is, based off the title, this is going to be mainly focused on her funeral and just basically the team grieving and dealing with the fact that this happened. And someone mentioned this. There better be a reference or something that Cisco was told. Because Cisco's, of course, not on the show anymore, they better make a reference that Barry called or somebody called Cisco to let him know that Frost passed. So we'll see about that. But anyways, guys, let's get into now. Let's see what they do with this episode. And remembering Frost. Let's go. Killer Frost. Kid Flash. Vibe. What was that? Vibe what? Oh, but they say we're going to see her body again? Oh. The fuck is this? About to say. The car's not gonna land on them, right? Ooh.
Chester.
Wake up, Chester. He's talking to you. Yeah, Flash. Hulk smash.
I mean, we should have easily stopped Desmond, but
yeah.
Allegra and Cecile were almost killed.
Cecile is not prepared for this.
But if there's anyone who can find the right words to inspire us right now, it's you.
It's you, Barry. Good luck with that, though. Good luck with that task.
And whether we like it or not, we're this city's first line of defense.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened out there.
Yeah.
If it had been...
Didn't realize we were having a team meeting.
You don't need to be here. It's more important things. Yeah.
It's fine, because I'm not going to any damn funeral.
What? What? Okay.
And we all have to find our own ways to honor her.
Yeah.
Because it is the only way.
Iris? What?
There's still 0 hits on the tip line. I'm going to dedicate 25% of my caseload to pro bono work in her honor. Frost would love that. Yeah. You think Aries did a terrible job?
Probably did an okay job, but...
Well written and factually accurate. I wanted to see how you're doing.
Not doing well. I don't think anybody is right now, so...
And in the end, I got to know her just a bit.
And
I'm...
I had a theory that she was going to die. The mom. Well, that was wrong. Oh, the podcast.
Welcome to Citizentopia, where you, the citizens of Central City, Frost saved lives, and she changed them for the better.
Yep.
And I'm here with 2 people who are proof of that. Seeing her courage in court.
Oh, she's interviewing a bunch of people. Okay.
We owe her our lives. And what did Frost say? That I did my job. So wherever you are, Frost.
He's going to change it to Frost instead of Killer Frost on the menu. Yeah. Okay, so we're following different people and what they're going through.
Perfect thing to do so stay frozen forever.
You mean a snow globe?
Sure.
Condiment King, I don't need you wrong-splaining hummus to me.
Did she just say Condiment King?
Sorry. Do you guys know where the Arctic parkas are?
What in the hell?
Cozy ones.
What are you doing? Oh God. Okay.
He's had a rough week.
He's stuck to the bar. Okay. Thank you.
What's your poison?
You need to calm the fuck down. What's he doing?
Wow, big night out, huh?
Oh, he hates couples now, of course.
Pain is coming.
God, this guy needs... Yeah, exactly.
There you go. No, no.
You two are really killing my party's vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not even fighting.
They were gonna apologize. He's passed out.
I'm sorry.
Now they apologize.
I
Yes.
can't believe we're fighting.
Over a dip.
If we listen to each other, I'm sure we could find that one.
Or you could get together and stop the whole will they, won't they.
Actually,
Oh, wow, that's an older suit. Okay. What you doing there, Barry? He's got a list, a bucket list. Okay. Holy shit, Barry. Okay. Pretty good. Chainsaw scoping that thing too, yeah. Chainsaw, hey. Oh my God, is he gonna win? He won.
fine. But I want a rematch next year, Alan.
Okay. Well, we have a season 9, so we can do it again. Oh God, he's
How long
awake.
are you in there?
For a while. Oh, Frost's bucket list.
She do
Oh.
all of these already? Just taking care of the people she loved.
She did that.
That's what she really wanted to do with her life.
Okay, following Caitlyn now. Let's see
'Cause I'm
what
not
happens.
going to any damn funeral.
Hey, what are you taking that down for? Are you seriously packing up her shit or stuff that reminds you of her? I get it because everyone grieves differently, but come on. She was sitting there for a while. Jesus.
I'm still not going.
I just
Come
came to
on.
apologize. I said everything wrong.
We've both been through a lot over the last
But you
couple
need to
of days, so I
go.
think it's okay to
You
let
need to
ourselves
go.
off the hook.
Oh.
You still having trouble sleeping?
I've had a lot on
She
my
didn't
mind,
sleep last
so
night at all.
Yes, I've had a few. And not everything can just be fixed with speed healing. But I need to grieve
Caitlyn.
Frost in my own way.
What would Frost want? For you.
For you. Yeah.
You will never shut yourself off.
And you're doing exactly what she told you not to do.
And when Frost died,
It changed
her
everything.
singing died too. Her laugh. So I can't go to the funeral.
You have to.
Because if I see her in that casket.
So what's Frost saying she wants you to do?
Go to the damn funeral. You gotta go there to honor her. Oh, Sue's there. Caitlyn showed up. Okay, good. She wore blue. That's a nice touch. She wore blue. That's a blue casket.
I was
I mean, it makes sense.
afraid that Frost was always honest.
Very honest, yes.
So if we keep those parts of her alive in us,
Yep.
then
You're
she's
honoring
not
her.
really gone.
Actually, I think Wild Dog uses one of Joe's mops as a bow staff.
Wait, what? What?
This feels good. Thanks for telling me what I needed to hear.
She needed to hear it. I'm glad you listened and didn't push them away. Who you calling?
Hey, we need to talk.
Who? Who?
Is that a genome sequencer?
Yes,
And did you steal
What are you doing?
I borrowed it.
What do you want?
Are you trying to bring back Frost? Oh God, oh no. What? When did you have time to do this?
Okay, that's not too creepy. Caitlyn, what is it that you want?
Bring back Frost.
I'm gonna bring Frost back.
Oh my God. Oh, she cut her hair.
And you're gonna help me. I forgot my phone.
Oh, where'd she go?
Iris?
I would say about 95% of this episode was dedicated to Frost's memory and the funeral and all that kind of stuff. And they literally had to throw in the last few moments, Caitlyn going a little overboard and then Iris disappearing, of course. So let's talk about the two main things at the end there I just mentioned, because the rest of the episode was all about how everybody was kind of dealing, dealing, grieving, however you want to, go about it, with the loss of Frost. Let's talk about the last two bits there, and then we'll get to all of that. Because I definitely have some things to say about how they were handling certain characters and how they were kind of responding, reacting to all of this. So, the final thing. Iris just disappears. And I was thinking about this as the episode was continuing. I'm like, we spent a good amount of time before this episode with Iris having some severe side effects with her time sickness, and there hasn't been anything addressed in this episode. Like, it was not mentioned until literally she disappeared. It's the last thing that happened in the after credit sequence. She disappears. That's not good. That is not good at all. So, okay, interesting how that waited till after the funeral and everything, but still, okay, she disappears. I mean, I'm assuming this was bound to happen because she caused that mom to disappear, and just things were just not good. And then Dion disappeared at that one point. That just made no sense either. He just randomly disappeared too. So I don't know. Interesting. Caitlyn, and we'll talk about more about the earlier stuff, but Caitlyn was being very, distant, pulling away. She called Chillblaine over. She basically reorganized her apartment, the living room portion of her apartment, to a lab, essentially. She wants to bring Frost back. The reason why she was standing over Frost's, casket, it was open up, she's talking to her. While she's talking, it cuts to a little bit later when she's talking to Chillblaine. She cut part of her hair, Frost's hair, because she wants to bring her back. I should have seen this coming. I should have. I was surprised. I was quite surprised by this. Caitlyn's going a little overboard, because we were going in the right direction when Barry was talking to her and all that, but we'll get to that a little bit later in terms of that. But now she's just at a point now where she's not going to be able to bring Frost back. It's not going to happen unless she literally recreates exactly what her father did to her when she was young. And I don't think they're going to do that, because they made a point that this death is permanent. And I guess the responses people are going to be saying, well, this is the Flash, no one truly dies. Like, I really hope they don't actually bring her back, because they literally spent the pretty much the entire episode here of people dealing with this and grieving with it in different ways of her death, just to bring her back after Caitlyn can somehow, it just would really, it would make the death not really have an impact in this episode, to be kind of null and void, essentially, because if you bring her back, then why did we spend all this time on this episode dedicated to her memory? So, okay, let's get to all that in terms of that, because that builds up to what Caitlyn's doing. So, we open the episode with everyone trying to figure out what to do, and Joe makes this point about we all should find different ways to honor Frost and everything. I think it was a good point. And then Caitlyn walks in, didn't realize there was a meeting, but Barry's like, look, she doesn't really be here. I think someone even asked, I forget who it was, who asked why Caitlyn wasn't there. I think Allegra asked, but essentially she has a lot going on, and she doesn't even be, told, like, she needs time to kind of, grieve and to kind of step away. But she took it as, I'm not going to the funeral, all that kind of stuff. And then, of course, later on, we cut to Caitlyn and see the continuation of that sequence where she's not sleeping and everything. She's packed all that stuff up. I hated that. I hated the fact that she did that. But everyone grieves differently. I get it. But I just didn't agree with the fact that she literally just packed up all Frost's stuff. But then, of course, it turns right around. She has all the stuff back out again, and she's wanting to bring her back. So it's a truly complete 180. But then we see Barry talk to her, and she just wants nothing to do. And then he asked the question, which I think was poignant. What would Frost do? Now, that's a typical question, but in this instance, Caitlyn is not thinking about what Frost would think or want. All she's thinking about is, I can't do this, and I'm going to distance myself. And like I said, everyone responds to death differently. I get it. But Caitlyn's approach is just, it's not healthy. Definitely not. Definitely not healthy. I mean, she literally sat on her couch all night, just staring into nothing, and didn't sleep. And then the door knocks, it's the next morning, and Barry's there ready to go to the funeral. Not good. So when she thinks about the fact that Frost has told her more than once that she needs to, live her life and all that kind of stuff, and just do not push yourself away. So she realizes, I screwed up. And then, of course, it went completely wrong, because now she wants to try to bring Frost back. And I get it, because she can't handle the fact that she's truly gone, because her whole fear about going to the funeral was the fact that if I go, it truly means she is gone, because it's now fact. She's gone. She is gone. Regardless if you go to the funeral or not, she's gone. But she's going to try everything to bring her back. And Chillblaine's, I don't know what he's going to do. I really would like to think that he would maybe tell Team Flash or somebody that this is happening, because I don't know. I get, maybe a side of him will want this too, so he'll do anything he can. But even if it was to work, who's to say it'd be the same Frost? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like if this was be somewhat successful, it will not be the same Frost, whatever it is. So there's that. So we cut to the first segment we actually followed was Iris, because Iris was trying to figure a way to honor Frost, and she was writing an obituary, got someone else to write it. She goes to Caitlyn's mom, who of course is Frost's mom in a sense. And she said it feels cold. Like, that's a good word for it. But it doesn't feel like the person who wrote this clearly didn't know who she was, and that's true, he didn't know. So she decided to go the route, because they haven't addressed this since I think the first episode of Flash Season 8, Armageddon Part 1. I don't think it was shown again since it, or maybe it was episode 2. I think it was episode 1, because they were kind of like re-establishing the show, and I believe they showed for the first time Iris's podcast with the paper. They brought that back and had several people, including, I think it was the judge. No, I don't think it was the judge. I think it was the lawyer that was against Frost when she was on trial. I think it was the lawyer, or maybe it was the judge. Anyways, but she had several different people on the podcast, Iris did, to talk about Frost and telling different stories. I'm like, this is pretty smart. Using the podcast to get people who listen, of course, to the podcast, to learn more about Frost, to hear about the heroics she did, and of course, and I didn't think about this, but they brought up the fact that she had to go against those charges. I think it was in season 7. Was it season 7 or season 6? Anyways, I think it was season 7, but regardless, the charges against her about being a meta and everything, and they were like, I didn't think about that, but they brought that back up, so that was pretty smart. We also followed Barry, who was going through and marking off a bucket list, and I didn't see it first when he's marking on the bucket list. It was Frost's bucket list. He was going through and doing everything that she wanted to do, and I thought it was really smart for Barry to do, because of course he can physically run around and do all this stuff in record time, but it didn't really do anything. It ultimately didn't fulfill the honoring of Frost. I mean, he did all those things that she wanted to do, but it didn't actually it didn't feel complete in him to do it. But at least he tried something. He tried to do it. Building that snowman on the top of the Himalayas or whatever, that was really cool. He just tried all these different things, and and ice sculpting with a chainsaw, like to make a little snowflake. That was really cool, interesting. But yeah, it didn't work. And then Chillblaine, of course, was talking to him, all that kind of stuff. And Chillblaine going crazy, because we had the Chester and Allegra, and they're kind of arguing, I guess. It's the continuation of the will they, won't they. They've been hinting they're going to get together. Just do it already. I'm tired of the will they, won't they thing. I'm just over it. But Chillblaine's at the bar, whatever, that he was first introduced. I think when he was first introduced, he was at that bar working. But he's drunk, going crazy, and then he passes out, and they had to throw him in Star Labs. Of course, that's when he wakes up to Barry. And the music they play, it's silly comedy music, essentially, when he wakes up. Here's something that I brought up in the intro, and they didn't do it. They did not, and I should have said this earlier in the review start, but there was no mention of Cisco finding out about her death. They should have wrote a line or something for Barry or somebody to say, I've just got, they hang up the phone, I just told Cisco what was going on. You really would have thought that Cisco would have showed up. Obviously, I think the actor is unavailable. He's working on another show or something, so I get it, but they had no mention of Cisco. Cisco knew Frost, and no mention whatsoever. No mention. We had Blockbuster, which I think that's a character in the comics, right? That name sounds familiar. But we had Allegra and Cecile out in the field, and Cecile's not prepared for this. She's not prepared. She has to go out there because Frost is not there, but she is not prepared to be out in the field. It's clear as day. She's not ready for this, and it just didn't work out very well. And at one point, Chester even says Frost, and he catches himself. He's like, oh shit, and he said Frost. It's just certain things like that. It kind of goes to show Team Flash needs a break, and we don't even see them apprehending Blockbuster. We don't even see it. It's just written on the paper. They get that rematch. We never see it. So I feel like, okay, what was the point of having Blockbuster in it, just to show that they weren't in a right place to handle the villain? Maybe, but it feels like Blockbuster should have been maybe more of a focus in terms of okay, so if you want to set this villain to kind of going around doing this stuff, but I guess he really wasn't that important. His whole purpose was to show that Team Flash, everybody's not on the same, because when Flash asked Chester a question, he's just staring off into nothing, and he goes, Chester, and he's like, oh, sorry, and then he gets into business. So literally, I guess the whole point of Blockbuster wasn't to really have much of a purpose besides the fact they're kind of showing that they're not mentally ready to do this. And they were after the funeral and having these nice conversations and talking about Frost and everything. They referenced Star City a couple times. They mentioned Wild Dog too. I'm like, my God, they're just dropping names here. It just felt kind of strange, but it was definitely interesting for sure. So the episode overall, I think, was decent. I wasn't blown away by it, but I felt like it needed to happen because Frost was a major character for the last couple of seasons. And that little area with all the different costumes and stuff, like we got to see an older costume of Frost, and apparently that's the one they hung up is the one that she really felt like a hero for the first time or something in that one. So okay. But yeah, I think overall they did a pretty solid job, and I'm curious to see what the hell Caitlyn's going to do, because Caitlyn, this is not going to be good. It's not going to be good. And Iris is gone, so they're definitely amping up some stuff for sure. So what did you guys think of the episode? I'm curious to know your thoughts. Whatever thoughts you have, let me know in the comments below. I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.